Hello, this is Wmpyr. All right, so my student encouraged me to make this video. So I want to go ahead and do this. The primary subject is self-defense. So when we are looking at combat as a whole, because combat can it can include a lot of things. It is very dynamic and it's very broad, right? There's all kinds of different combats. But within there, I think we could come down to three types of combat. And it comes down to assault, fighting, and self-defense. So that's the way that I teach it in my B1 Escrima style. So the main purpose for us is self-defense. And you might go, well, if that's your main purpose, why are we looking at assault and fighting? And the answer to that is I feel like in order to really understand self-defense, we need to understand the other two. Because if not, it's all going to be jumbled up and it's going to be all confusing and you're going to get them mixed up. And yeah, then it becomes complicated and yeah, you're going to be confused. So to avoid that, I feel like if you understand the difference between the three, then you get a clarity of mind. And a clarity of mind equals better action. That you'll be able to take action with confidence, and you'll know this is what I'm doing, right? So once again, in order for that to happen, we got to separate and understand these three. So I do feel that even though what I'm really interested here is self-defense, it's good for me to study assault and fighting just so I understand the difference, just for the clarity, okay? So number one, assault, what is it? Assault really comes down to attacking another human being, all right? And the way that I want you guys to think about it is a tiger in the jungle going after its prey, stalking its prey, and then attacking it and taking it out, all right? The tiger has already natural camouflage, with the stripes. It becomes invisible, essentially. You're laying out this trap. And even like something powerful like a tiger or a lion, think of the lion. It's not going after the strongest gazelle. It's going after the weakest one. And think of a shark, a great white shark that it attacks its prey from the bottom, not head on. So even though these three animals that I just mentioned, they're very strong and ferocious, they still attack in the safest manner for them and also in a way that they could cause the most damage, right? So they could inflict a ton of damage. Excuse me. One-sided damage. And they don't want retaliation. They really don't want their prey to escape. So they want to catch it by surprise. And yeah, that's the idea of an assault, is that you're going to set this trap. You're going to lay down this trap and you're going to make it as best for your attacks to occur. So you could be the most offensive and they're going to be the most weakest and the least risk on you. And you want it to be one-sided. And really, you want them to wake up in the hospital going, I don't know what happened. I have no recollection. Like, I think I got hit in the back of the head with a baseball bat. But after that, I lost consciousness and I have no idea what happened. My ribs are broken, my shin bones cracked. All that, they must have stopped me, they must have done this. I don't know what happened. That's what you want. That's an assault. It's horrible. It's horrific, but that is an assault. Okay, so let me skip fighting and let me go to self-defense. What is self-defense? At the end of the day, self-defense is about survival. So it doesn't matter if you were crying, you were begging for your life. At the end of the day, if you survived, the person that runs away is the victor. So if you look like the biggest coward on the planet Earth, it doesn't matter as long as you survived. That's what self-defense is. Okay? And even better is if you come out of it with no injuries. That's the best. The least amount of damage on you, that means, like, if you come out with 0 damage, then that was 100% successful self-defense. Okay. Now, if you got punched once in the face, but you came out alive, hey, it don't matter. Maybe it was 3 guys and they were armed and that's all you got. You did great. You did amazing. All right. So that's what it is. Or they took your wallet, but you're unharmed. Well, they could have killed you. So that's self-defense. If you come out alive, it's survival. So now let me go to fighting, because I think fighting is going to be the most misunderstood. What is fighting? Okay, so let's say someone says something to me, nasty. They say something about my mom or whatever, and I go, what did you say? And it turns into a fight. All right, and I knocked them out with 1 punch. Boom! And they're out cold. This is just a fantasy, okay? I'm just saying, I'm not saying I have that capability, but let's say that's what happened. Boom, 1 punch. They messed with the wrong dude. I knocked them out. That's not much of a fight. Okay. So as far as fighting goes, that's a crappy fight. Okay? What's a good fight then? A good fight is one that goes back and forth, back and forth. I don't know who's going to win. My stamina's depleting. Their stamina's depleting. We're both breathing hard. We're sweating. We're dying. Our lungs are just about to explode, okay? And we're about to give up at any moment. It could go either way. It's like a Rocky situation, all right? So in that kind of situation, one person just wanted it a little bit more. One person had trained just a little bit harder, and boom, wins. Okay, that's a fight. Battle of attrition. It was brutal. It could have gone either way. They're both jacked up really bad. They hit each other with everything, including the kitchen sink. That's a fight, right? It was close. That's what we're looking for. That is 100% a fight. Okay, if you knock them out with 1 hit, that was not much of a fight at all. Okay, so just something. First, we got to make that definition clear. What's an assault? What is a fight? And what is self-defense? And now that we did that, I think you can see they're drastically different from each other. Drastically. And if they're that different from each other, it only makes sense that the tools are going to be very different too. It should be like comparing a hammer with a wrench with a screwdriver. They're totally different because they're made for different situations. And that's one thing that my knife making instructor taught me. Probably I think the most important lesson that he taught me was you got to use the right tools. So if you're talking about making a knife, you get this slab of metal and you're supposed to make a knife out of that, right? The first thing is you got to cut out the shape. Can you do that with just sandpaper and just a file? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible to do that, to get the shape out of this just using a steel file or something. It's possible. It's going to take forever. It's not efficient. It's not the best tool for that. No, absolutely not. So use the right tool. It's so much better. It's so much more efficient. So right here, you could see my example here, all right? And I'm a big proponent about this, using the right tool for the right situation, okay? So in this case, in martial arts wise, it means the right style or the right technique. Those are the tools for the right situation. In the situation, I broke it down for you guys right here as assault, fighting, and self-defense. Okay, you could also use distance, long range, medium range, close range, and ground range. But for this video, I want to focus on assault, fighting, and self-defense, right? So, like for assault, I use gutter fighting. Okay, now I don't plan to ever use it for real, but I'm just saying that's what I studied, and it helped me understand what is assault better, and it helped me understand the difference between assault fighting and self-defense. So that's Captain Fairbairn's gutter fighting. Okay, now you could pick some other style. There are other styles that do assault. Okay, for me, I just personally like gutter fighting the best. Okay, now for fighting, I have Muay Thai kickboxing, and I have, for the grappling, there's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, Sambo, whatever. But for me, you know, the Muay Thai and the BJJ were kind of big for me personally, okay, for fighting. Now, is it possible to use fighting skills for assault? Absolutely. So I could use Muay Thai for assault, or I could use BJJ for assault, for sure, for sure. But once again, I go back to, it's better to use the right tool, the correct tool, okay? So Muay Thai and BJJ are better for fighting, okay? So gutter fighting is much more efficient, proficient, effective than using Muay Thai kickboxing or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for an assault. So that's my main point here, is use the correct tool for the correct situation. Okay, so then for self-defense, you know, I have the diamond defense and the fiend. All right, the diamond defense is for long range, and the fiend is for close range. And those are the two that are 100% for self-defense. I designed those two sub-styles 100% for self-defense. Okay, can you use them in fighting? Sure. Can you use them in assault? Sure, but they're really not, they're not meant for that. Okay, they shine, they were designed for self-defense. Okay, and the reason why I'm, you know, like I said, the main point of this video, the biggest point I want to make here for self-defense, that was the focus of this video, self-defense. And in self-defense, there are plenty of people that they will tell you, yes, self-defense is survival. Yes, in self-defense, you should run every chance you get. And then you go, okay, that's great. That's wonderful. Show me the techniques for self-defense. And what do they show you? They show you headbutt the guy in the face, take out his eyes, knee him in the balls, you know, things like that. And I'm going, wait a minute, didn't you just say that it's about survival and it's about running away? And then here you are, the techniques you're showing me don't match. They don't match. Think about that, okay? The diamond defense right here that I showed you guys, based off of the force-to-force block, this will take you in a position to run away. It's made for you to not get hit. So to survive, you're using a shield, which is, you know, a defense bag. So you're using a shield to protect yourself, to survive, and then you're creating distance to run away. So the diamond defense matches what I'm saying for self-defense. Okay, the fiend is in the clinch, basically. It's close range, so it's in the clinch. And we are neutralizing the opponent. That's the main goal, is to neutralize. Yes, we have attacks in the fiend, but none of those attacks, the purpose is not for damaging the opponent. They're all for surviving in the clinch. They're all so that we're trying to neutralize the opponent, because once you're in the clinch, you can't just run away. It's difficult. If you can, sure, run away, but you're in the clinch. That means they grab a hold of you. So in that case, there you got to neutralize their attacks, and all the attacks there that I teach in the fiend are designed for neutralizing. They're not for destroying the opponent. If you do destroy the opponent with those attacks, with the fiend attacks, then I say congratulations. It was an easier situation. The opponent was weaker than you thought, or I don't know what it was, but hey, I'm happy for you. That's great. But I don't expect that. Okay. If that happens, once again, amazing. Okay. You go, I used the fiend and I was able to make him beg for mercy and he fell down to his knees. Fantastic. Okay, but that's not what it was designed for. Okay, that means you went higher than expectations, so you were lucky. You know that was it ended up being extra bonuses for you. Okay, but anyway, so self-defense is about survival. So both of those, the diamond defense and the fiend, do exactly that. Muay Thai kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they teach you how to fight. So in fighting, what are the two most important things? Domination and termination. So to dominate your opponent, Muay Thai kickboxing, even you could dominate with position using BJJ. Okay, both of those will teach you how to dominate. And both of those will teach you how to terminate. So you could knock out somebody with Muay Thai moves. You could tap out. You could finish somebody, put someone to sleep with BJJ moves. So dominate and terminate. They do that. They do exactly that. Okay. So assault situation, right? You want to assault somebody. You want it one-sided. You want to cheap shot them. You want to set them up, and you don't want it to be a fight. You don't want to be battling for positions like in BJJ. You don't want to be, exchanging leg kicks, or punches like in Muay Thai. No. Gutter fighting has none of that. It doesn't teach you any of that. So it has basically no defense in that sense. It has no fighting defense. It just goes, do this and take them out. So it cuts to the chase. You're not wasting your time, because in an assault, it's an assault. You ambush the person and you take them out. You're not there to fight them. You're not out there to test the waters out and see how fast their jab is, or none of that. You're not there to pace yourself. It's completely different. So I hope that makes sense. What you're trying to do has to be the right tool to go with it, and what you say about what you're trying to do the techniques, the style needs to match what you're saying. Because I'm seeing so many people teach fighting for self-defense. So many people teach assault for self-defense. So that's why I felt necessary to make this video. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.